Hey everyone, welcome to Kuneco. My name is Adriana and so great to be here with all of you. I support Celo community and I'll be hosting today. So as we wait for folks to trickle into the room, please go ahead and share in the chat where you're calling in from. It's always a great time to have everyone join from across the world. So I'm here in just outside of San Francisco in California. And hey Sept. Calling in from New Jersey. We have Buenos Aires. Oh, wow, this is awesome. Portugal, New York, Sonoma, Berlin. Awesome. Welcome, Nelson. Great. Bogota. Hey, Umar. Great. And so we're all here. We can go off to the next slide. We're all here because we care about Celo's mission of building a financial system that creates the conditions of prosperity for everyone. And Kuneco means togetherness in Esperanto. And so this is a place to foster Celo togetherness across the world, across the community, and also celebrate the success towards our mission. And so next slide, we have a packed agenda today for you all. We're going to start out with a special welcome. We're going to share about optics that is now live. We have several shares from around the world of Celo community. We'll have an update on DeFi for the People program. And also we have several projects that are now live and we'll see some demos there and then we'll close. And so throughout this call, please feel free to not only share in the chat, but if you have questions, there is a questions section right next to the chat. You're welcome to post your questions there. And so before we get started, I do want to share that we do have the Celo Community Builder Award, and I'm super excited that we had several nominations come through over Twitter last week, and we will be sharing a live poll here for you to select and vote on the winner of this award of 1,000 Celo. So these are the finalists. We have Dominique from Valora, Thomas from FlyWallet, Human from Mobius, Patrick from Moolah, Robbie from Merging Impact, and Rossi from Celo Wallet. So I'll be putting the poll live now and throughout the conference. As folks trickle in, we will collect responses and we'll know the winner at the end. And so with that, we can get started with the community welcome. I want to welcome Renee up to the stage to say hello.
Hey everyone, great to be here. Thanks, Adriana. Really excited for today's sessions. Wow, it's been a crazy busy month, and we'll hear a little bit later from Sochi on the DeFi for the People initiative, which has been kicking off really well. And there's just lots of things happening that personally make me really excited in terms of finally getting to a point where DeFi is accessible to everyone, and the interfaces, the UI to actually participate in DeFi is becoming a lot easier. So lots of good work happening there. But I wanted to just use these first few minutes to welcome everyone, and you know, from sort of a C-Labs perspective, we're just super excited to be part of this vibrant, very quickly growing ecosystem. And we're right now going through, you know, an exercise of figuring out, hey, what are the right priorities for C-Labs to best support the community, to continue to invest in the platform, in the growth of the platform, scalability, but also to kind of make sure that from an ecosystem perspective, we can pick up things that are maybe underinvested in, and make sure that we can really you know, support the flywheel that's been happening, you know, in many ways organically. And as we're kind of thinking through that, there's obviously, like, you know, anything you could build on Celo. And, you know, for those of you who haven't seen it, Merrick put out a great post why someone should build on Celo a while back. But as we were kind of looking ahead, you know, for us, like, a lot of the ideas was in C-Labs, but also then was a view towards the mission of Celo. three kind of areas, kind of sort of, for us, are very much in focus and in sort of the spotlight, and we want to particularly support builders and ideas in those three areas. And so I'll quickly go through them, and I'll give some examples of how some of the projects we're seeing map to those, but also want to encourage anyone who's not yet in our community, who is interested, to reach out to whether it's us at C-Labs or folks at the Celo Foundation or other teams in the community to be welcomed. The first area, let's call that climate and regenerative economy. And this is, for those of you who've been in the community, it's something that we've been talking about since the very early days around, for example, adding natural assets to the Celo reserve to back Celo currencies. And our goal here is to have 40% of the reserve be in assets like protected forest. And this would actually meet 0.25% of the IPCC carbon removal goal at today's reserve size. So, even in these kind of very early days, that can be a very meaningful contribution. And so from an ecosystem perspective, over the last few months, we've seen several kind of issues and projects kick off that are focusing on projects in that kind of area, like tokenizing real world assets. But we are here from a C-Labs perspective to support that work and focus on the stability protocol and making sure that the mechanics around starting to integrate these assets can sort of happen at sort of an accelerated pace. The second area is around community commerce, and here I think we really, if you look at some of the core design elements of the Celo protocol, it's really made for peer-to-peer payments. It's has hybrid identity, and so lends itself really well to community commerce, both from a sort of geographical, physical community to interest-based digital communities. And so again, we're starting to see some really interesting work happening in the community, but from a C-Labs perspective, we're hoping to support that as much as we can by making the basic primitives from a token perspective readily available, and also support the work that's happening in the ecosystem around on and off ramps to make sure that wherever someone may be, they can easily participate and be a part of those platforms and communities. And I think when we think about prosperity for all, really it's not just about access to financial products, but it's really being part of a global digital economy, and we're seeing more and more projects that are starting to make that happen. The last of the three is around universal basic income and universal access to financial tools, and really building for everyone. I think for those of you who have come to Kunecos before, you've definitely heard us talk about bringing everything that we're building to the 6 billion smartphone subscribers around the world. And that continues to be obviously a key focus. But I think as we're growing the set of products and tools available, I think that increasingly kind of puts focus on additional primitives, especially around identity when it comes to thinking about non-collateralized lending, for example. And so you'll see us both supporting some of these existing initiatives, but then also thinking about additional primitives that can support that vertical. Now, everyone who's been following crypto these last few months, right? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about NFTs and play to earn games, and it's really interesting because I think there are examples here where I don't think anyone could have predicted how a crypto game can drive mainstream adoption faster, or even financial inclusion faster than payment tools in a place like the Philippines, which is what has been happening with Axie Infinity and people playing Axie during the pandemic and making a living, and then using the in-game earned tokens to pay for goods and services. And so I think, a shout out to that, but also I think great for us as a community to remember that, we're at the very beginning of not just, a transformation in terms of bringing existing tools into this new world, but also kind of coming up with entirely new primitives and ways to think about reaching our goals. And obviously want to be very welcoming to those kinds of ideas and think about how we can best support them. With that, I'll hand it over to a very exciting update that also just happened this month. As many of you may have seen, Optics went live, and we announced it this week, and it's really a big step for us to connecting Celo to the broader crypto ecosystem, making it easier to bring tokens, assets from other chains onto Celo to be used in Celo DeFi and applications. But also kind of have that go not just to Celo, but in other ways. And I think that's something we've been obviously very excited about, and it's been a big pillar of where we see the future. And I'm excited for Aaron to give an update on Optics.
Thank you, Renee. We're just going to wait a minute for Aaron to come to the screen.
Maybe while we're waiting, so our goal at C Labs really, I just may tag that onto what I just said, is to make sure that the basic primitives exist for everyone to build, sort of within these kind of broader themes towards our mission. And so if you're building something and you feel like, hey, there's something critical kind of missing from an infrastructure perspective for me to actually be successful, then please do reach out. We're really here to support the entire community, and just making that crystal clear that our door's always open to help. Because if it's useful for you, it's probably useful for a bunch of other people.
We're just having some connectivity issues, so let's just go to the next share, and then we'll come right back to Optics. So if we want to move forward to the first section of community around the world, and then we'll come right back to Optics. So here, if we want to bring Daniel up to the stage to share and introduce the community program section.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just great.
Sweet. So I'm Daniel from the Celo Foundation. For those who don't know me, I support education and community development initiatives at the foundation. What that means is that we have partners across the world creating Celo communities of their own and exploring and creating the educational materials their community needs. So I support those partners. So today I would love to take this opportunity to talk about one of those partners. So I believe we have Denver. Denver works for Defolio, and we have been working together on kind of like a year-long initiative in India that includes a hackathon season. Hackathons happening every weekend or almost every weekend in different universities in the country. It includes a big hackathon that is happening in October. More on that soon. And it includes a pretty cool fellowship program that selected 10 very talented students from different schools in India. So that's what Denver will be talking about today. He's going to talk about some of the projects these fellows completed during their fellowship. And I believe we even have a few fellows who are going to be presenting their own projects. So really exciting work coming from India. And with that, I believe Denver should be ready to present, but let me know, Adriana.
So Denver, if you want to come up to the stage.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome.
Hi, Denver.
Nice to be here. Yep. So do we wait for Renee, or should we go?
So we can get started. We can start with the India Fellowship.
Okay, sure. So I'm Denver from Devfolio, and really glad, first of all, to have started on this journey with Celo. We've been working with the Celo grants team since January this year. We've worked across various initiatives. Some of them, Daniel mentioned. We have every weekend there are hackathons happening in India, which use Devfolio as a SaaS platform to host their own hackathons, and at every one of them, there's an opportunity for them to build on Celo, and we have seen some really good projects coming out of that. And as that has grown, we also realize the need of more dedicated initiatives to kind of help the community, really understand the potential of what can be built with Celo. So especially with a focus on India, which itself, that's as a developing country, such infrastructure is much needed in India. And with that intention, we had this Celo. We thought of the Celo India Fellowship, and the Celo India Fellowship is a fellowship format that's modeled on the lines of Google Summer of Code, which is very, very prestigious in India. And what we wanted to do is to try and get the most talented Web2 developers in India and Web2 folks, and then try and let them explore Celo, go through the ecosystem in a guided manner, more so with more mentorship and help than it's possible in a hackathon format. So we had applications open for a month, and then we had 731 applicants from all across the country. And after a rigorous interview process, we selected 10 of them. These 10 folks then worked for the next 8 weeks. The first 4 weeks, they learned about the Celo ecosystem, learned to make sample dApps, learned about what's out already there, what's already built in the ecosystem, and then they built a project of their own. So that's what I would love for them to get the chance to present to the community today. We'll have 3 presentations from the fellows. And after that, the other 7, I'll just be covering them. So yeah, Vaibhav is here with us. Vaibhav, if you could join in on the stage.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, great to see you. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So I'll quickly get started with my presentation without wasting any time. So share screen. Yeah. So hi, everyone. I'm Vaibhav Chopra, and the project that I made for the Celo India Fellowship was Celo Push Notification Service, which was basically how I implemented blockchain notifications for Celo. I'm Vaibhav Chopra, like I said, and I'm a pre-final year CS undergrad in India. I'm also an incoming summer intern at Fidelity Investments, and I was the Celo India Fellow for this year. coming to my project and the Celo India Fellowship, it was like Denver said, an 8-week-long program with 10 fellows and tons of ideas. This is me here, and these are my other co-fellows. And these are not the actual images. This is just for representation. So the idea behind my project was that notifications make everything better. The Uber of today, the Zomato of today, these are all Web2 services, and they are doing really great. And I think a big reason for that is that they have notifications. And I feel that is something that is missing from most blockchains. So what I essentially did was that I built a service using smart contracts on Celo to provide notifications for any dApp. So you can transmit images on these notifications. You can do end-to-end encryption. You can warn people. You can have any sort of actions embedded in them. It is basically a very simplified and easy to use version of the Ethereum push notification services built for Celo in that 1 month duration of my capstone project at Celo. So how I did it was basically I used Web3 and React to create an admin front end from where you can add and remove accesses to different smart contracts for being able to push to your channel of notifications. And I used web notifications, which are provided in practically every web browser like Safari, Edge, and Chrome, to be able to drop notifications to any user no matter where they're connected from. And they can also encrypt it using AES encryption. I've also used WebSockets from Forno to be able to continuously listen to emitted events, which is practically the core of my project for being able to listen to different smart contracts emitting all kinds of notifications. And if you want to check this project out, you can read the Docusaurus documentation that I have written for this. And I've also created a GitHub monorepo, and I've also deployed this on AlphaNet. And here you can check out the whole description. This link is not working for some reason. Okay. And yeah, you can check out the whole source code here and all the different interactions available. And you can actually integrate this to any of your projects and smart contracts. And I hope you guys find this project useful. Thank you so much. I had a great time working on this project. So that was my project, Celo Push Notification Services. Thank you.
Thanks, Vaibhav. And really great to see how far you've come, and it was really nice to see you manage to implement what you set out.
Thank you so much.
All right. I think next we'll have Samir. Samir was also a Celo India fellow. Samir, could you join the stage?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, let me just present my screen.
Sure.
Yeah, it's visible. So hello everyone. So I was also a part of the Celo India Fellowship this time, and my idea was basically to write a Flutter SDK for Celo, because I think Celo at that time, currently, also supports only React Native, and I thought there was a great requirement for expanding the ecosystem, because Celo is a DeFi mobile first DeFi platform. So a little introduction of me. I'm a recent graduate. I just completed my degree in CSE, and currently I'm working as a software engineer at Fronto. And I had some great experiences, and Celo India was one of them. I was able to quickly shift, and I learned so much about blockchain. Before that, I had done only one project, and this opened up so many opportunities and avenues for me. And since then, I've been digging up more and more into Celo and other blockchains and the entire ecosystem. So the problem statement that I first thought, and the reason why I even applied to this fellowship, was that I saw this as an opportunity and to help all the other developers who want to build their apps and want to use other frameworks which they know or they might be comfortable with. So Celo is a mobile first DeFi platform, but I saw that there was very limited support for other SDKs as well. And because its ecosystem is still very young, so I decided to write a Dart SDK for Celo. Of course, this was a bit of an experimentation, and this was done during the Celo India Fellowship after the 4 weeks. So in the last 4 weeks, I got the opportunity to build my own project, and I chose this. And the reason why is also, and the reason why I chose Dart or Flutter to be specific, was that Flutter has been growing rapidly over the past 2 years. it has the Dart has come up as I think the 8th most loved programming language in the Stack Overflow surveys. And Flutter is just great to even build and prototype rapidly. I have been a Flutter developer for more than 2 years, and I have loved using it every day. And I saw the great potential it could provide Web3 developers, and how they could integrate with it easily and develop MVPs. So that is one more reason that I realized that Celo needed to be on Flutter, using Flutter. And these were my initial goals when I set out. I actually thought that I would have to write only contract kit, but then when I took a look at the monorepo, I realized that there were so many things connected and there were so many things going on that I couldn't replicate it immediately. So I set up some initial goals that I would first kind of try connecting to the repo, because there aren't actually too many Web3 packages available in the Dart ecosystem, just unlike the JavaScript one. So there's only like one package available for which is also like nothing official by any community. So it's a community-driven package, and it's usually used to connect to Ethereum nodes. But then I used that sort of to understand how a Web3 package would go about, and so the first goal was to connect to a Celo network, and that is what I tried doing. And so it wasn't that difficult. Like using the RPC URL, I was able to connect to it, and then create and fetch accounts and all of these. I had some difficulties initially, but then tinkering a little bit helped me do all of these. The only thing that I was so after using that package, I tried adding Celo specific things, Celo protocol specific fields, and then trying to do what I have to. But yeah, I didn't have full success in signing transactions because of the hash code was different, and I still been discussing with the Celo team and trying to figure out what can be done. But I believe that this is a great opportunity for everyone to use Flutter, and if they are a Flutter developer, it will help them build more dApps. So these are some of the reasons why I believe that the Dart SDK for Celo would be amazing, because like Denver mentioned, that there are hackathons happening every weekend in India, and if it is an app, it's usually built in Flutter, and a Dart SDK would allow all these hackathons or hackers to use Celo and build their apps in Flutter. So this is one of the main use cases, that there will be so many innovative products coming up in hackathons and so many innovative ideas, and they could be quickly implemented, because building in Android native or iOS native or even React native, I believe, is a bit of a longer duration that couldn't be completed in a hackathon, but Flutter easily allows us to rapidly prototype, and this would greatly benefit everyone. So the current milestones I have, although right now it was in experimental mode, I plan to pursue this project further and make it and maintain an official project, so that everybody can use this SDK to write their own Celo Flutter apps. So these are some of the goals or milestones that I have currently, that I'm planning to work over the next few months, along with the help of the Celo team. So first thing is I have to design some of the API implementation, and then do all the basic things, just querying and writing to a contract, and then signing and sending CUSD in Celo. And yeah, the last thing would be, I think, making it easier would be to connecting to Velora, depending on if it is using deep links or Wallet Connect. And depending on that, I believe that if this happens, that there would be a proper SDK for Flutter by Celo, and this would enable building awesome apps with beautiful UIs, and then that could connect and make transactions with Velora. So yeah, the project currently is, like I said, still not complete, and it's available at samircash.celo-dart-monorepo on GitHub. And yeah, I do need all the community support I can get to push this as quickly as possible and build it as quickly as possible. I believe the more quickly we build it, that it will be, and more contributions it receives, that it will be more perfect, and it might help a lot of developers and get a lot of reach. So I'm available on these links, and if you would like to reach out to me, definitely I would love to talk to you. So do reach out to me. Thank you.
Thanks, Samir. That was really great to see, and then so nice that you've actually built something that other developers can also use. and
Yeah.
I think you understand the pain points very well. And that's
Yeah.
why I decided to build it. It's great.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Right. Next up, we have Elio. Uh, Elio is also part of the Celo Fellowship. Okay, we have Elio here. Hey, Elio.
Hi, Denver.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, so let me share my screen. Yes, so this is Elio, and I'm from Goa, India. And for the Celo Fellowship, I have built Celogram. So Celogram is a creator economy which is powered by Celo. Yeah, so I'm a full stack blockchain dev. I also work as a part-time dev at Footium, which is like a football fantasy game on the Ethereum blockchain. And I, I was part of the Celo India Fellowship, and I'm an undergrad student at VIT University, India. And I'm very thankful to Devfolio and Celo for this opportunity of a lifetime.
Elio, if you're sharing your slides, we don't see them. So if you want to reshare your screen, if you have some slides.
Yes.
Great, we can see them now. Your screen.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the problems with the current centralized creator platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok is that they are highly centralized. There's no real ownership of content, and it's like highly prone to piracy. And platforms like this are actually missing out on a huge Web3 onboarding opportunity. And the third thing is like the content creator market is like highly saturated, and the barriers to entry are very high. The creators need very high quality gear and marketing investments. So why creator economy and why I chose Celo? Yeah, so creators are innovators. So creative industries have always led innovation because they are fundamentally exploratory and hungry for ways to help create sustainability. So inside a creator economy, you have a kind of a perfect balance of creators, communities, and finance, open finance powered by DeFi. So the popular projects in the creator ecosystems, which I took inspiration from, are Audius and Bonus, which is on the Solana and the Binance Smart Chain. And the reason why I chose Celo is because of the gas fees and the lower gas fees and like very less block time, and it's a mobile first blockchain, so it becomes really easy to make mobile apps for projects like these, and it also supports native stablecoins like USD and CUR. Yeah, so how it actually works. So inside Celogram, you have a Celogram feed dashboard wherein you can post, like, and even tips USD to your favorite creators, and the creators can earn USD. There is also a facility for fundraising wherein creators can create fundraisers. So every creator has a connection with his followers, and the goals are set. And once the fund goals are met, the donations are given for. So this is powered by Textile. And we also have an NFT metaverse wherein you can mint your own NFT, trade them, and then display these NFTs. And we have a public chat, which is powered by IPFS P2P. And I'm also working on an Audius live music embed inside Celogram, wherein users would be able to toggle between music using an embed. Yeah, so these are some of the screenshots of the project. Like currently, I'm facing some issues with the IPFS, so I wasn't able to. Uh, like there were some internal transaction errors, but I'm still working on the project. So this is the chat UI. This is the feed screen, and you need to connect to the Celo extension wallet. Yeah, so you can choose media in the form of JPG, PNG, upload it to IPFS, and you can tip CUSD to the creator, and you can rank the posts by the number, the count of CUSD, the amount of CUSD a particular creator has gotten. I was also working on an NFT marketplace wherein you could mint and sell and display your own NFTs. Like every user would have a profile and you could see and view them over here. So this is a way to create a digital asset, and there are two contracts which power this. One is the ERC-721 token, and another contract is of the NFT marketplace. So here we could display the minted NFTs. Since I was facing some issues, I couldn't list the NFTs here. Yeah, so my future targets for Celogram are work on the custom fundraise UI. The smart contracts have already been written and deployed on AlphaJoes, and also work on the Audius music embed. And I also want to implement social tokens, which is going to be a great hit in the future, in the coming future. Creator coins, and also targeted rewards for like token holders of specific creators. And I also want to integrate live video streaming so that creators could do live streaming, and maybe perhaps work on a Celogram mobile app. And the final goal is always to launch on mainnet. Yeah, so thank you very much. I'm looking forward to building more on Celo.
Yeah, great job, Elio, and so nice to see you. You have a very clear path to mainnet. It would be really awesome to actually get to use it.
Thank you, Daniel. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Right. Yeah. Right. So those were the three fellows who would be presenting today, and then for the rest of the time, I'll just like to quickly go through the projects that other fellows built. I'll just quickly share my screen and just go through them. Right. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
All right. So this is where all the projects of the fellows are. All the 10 projects can be found here, and each of them is a link. It's on celoindiafellowship.defolio.co/submissions. So you can go and check out all about their projects here. So covering some of the projects that did not present today due to lack of time, we had the first one. We had Celopati by Mitesh Pandey. Mitesh is a very talented developer from Nepal, and we were really glad to have him in the fellowship. And he built a very interesting project, which is called Celopati. And in India and in the Indian subcontinent, Teen Patti is a very popular card game, which Mitesh thought would, and rightly so, thought would be a great idea to build on the blockchain and try and incentivize more people to use Celo. And it turned out to be great. It's a mobile app where people can come and stake their CUSD. And once they stake their CUSD, they can join game rooms. And once the minimum of 2 people are needed to play the game. And Teen Patti, teen just means 3 in the Indian language, Hindi. And so basically, like whoever gets the total of whoever's cards are higher, that person wins. So once both players show their cards, so one person wins, and then gets the bet of the other, gets the staked amount of the other person. This is a very cool project, and we're really glad to see that Mitesh made it happen. So this was Celopati. The next project that we had was Cryptify. Cryptify is a blockchain-based invoicing solution for companies. So essentially, across the border, you can use Cryptify to businesses can use Cryptify to send invoices across borders, and they can log into the platform using magic links, which essentially means that you don't need a password to authenticate. And after that, they can just send their invoices to other people, and then there's a payment link in the invoice essentially, and then that gets paid through Celo. And all of this is seamlessly integrated by Shlok. This is just a website of Cryptify, and it's really cool to see it in action. I'm not going to get into it right now. Yeah, but yeah. So by the way, like Elio, Shlok, and Mitesh also are now participating in the Celo camp, and really looking forward to seeing what they build there. The next project that I want to quickly cover is ShoshoDApp. ShoshoDApp was built by Mohinish, and it's essentially a monetization-based social network in which creators can make posts. People can pay them for their posts. The images are saved on IPFS, and people can pay creators seamlessly using Celo. And there's also a Patreon type of model, which makes it completely decentralized version of Patreon, essentially. That was ShoshoDApp. Yeah.
Denver, just a time check. I just want to see.
Yeah, I'll just take 5 more minutes, maybe.
Okay, we just need that. Okay, we have like about another minute, and then we'll have to move on to the next section. This is all really great.
All right. So yeah, next we had Dhruv, who built Yogdan, which essentially was cross-border donations. Essentially, you can donate your money, time, or services, and that was built by Dhruv. Really cool project. Check it out. Hashimage is a decentralized image sharing platform where anybody can share their images, and people can pay creators to view and tip the creators. And then we have NFT Museum, which was a project that allows for art lovers to curate their digital art. Essentially, you can curate all your NFTs from different marketplaces. And then finally, the last project that was built was Celo Simply Book, which essentially is an event management app in which you can stake an amount to reserve a seat, and then if you attend it, you get it back. If you don't, essentially you lose your stake. That ensures like higher participation rates. So that was it, and was really glad to see the quality of submissions at the fellowship, and really looking forward to all the other stuff that we are doing with Celo in India. Thanks a lot.
So awesome. Thank you, Denver, for sharing, and thanks to all the participants in the fellowship. This is great. If you have any questions for them or want to stay in touch, please connect in the chat. So thank you.
Sure.
And so next up, we have Eric Pinos from the Blockchain Education Network. I want to welcome Eric to the stage to share about what Ben is doing in Africa.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Welcome, Eric. Yeah, we can.
Hey, perfect. Yeah. First, I want to say it was really cool to see all those different projects created by university students in India. I think their folio is really amazing. Seeing the first ETH India, and now kind of seeing that evolve, and today just working not just on like DeFi projects, but also all the new NFT projects that are coming out. I think that's really like representative of the way that the industry has evolved. We've seen that initially a lot of the new types of projects that were being created at hackathons were very infrastructure level, or very like finance oriented, but now it's exciting to see people being able to really get super creative, make card games, make NFT museums, marketplaces. I definitely think that's gonna, I think the projects that are gonna come out of hackathons as of late are gonna be really, really interesting and cool to see. So I'm here to talk a bit about the Ben Africa program. So this is a program that we launched last year, a bit about Blockchain Education Network. So Blockchain Education Network, shortened to BEN, Ben, we started in 2014 as a network of blockchain students at different universities. So between the MIT Bitcoin Club, the Stanford Blockchain Group, the University of Michigan Bitcoin Club, and the University of Delaware, we kind of came together and we said, there's no good blockchain education. This was 2014, so it was very early on. We started the Blockchain Education Network to share resources and to also mentor new clubs that were popping up. So anytime a new blockchain club would pop up, they would kind of join the network and we'd be able to help them out with any of the initiatives that they wanted to do. So if they wanted to do a Bitcoin airdrop or if they wanted to do a blockchain development course, we were kind of there. And because we've done it at like other universities, we would be able to help out, the newer students. Fast forward to today, Ben is international. We have clubs all over the world. We have university students all over the world. We have content that's being translated into different languages by the different students. We work with professors and with faculty. Last year, we decided to really put it in a focus on a couple of particular regions. So one of the regions was Africa. And so we really wanted to think about how do we reach the students of Africa? How do we reach the university students there? One of the unique challenges that we faced was that most of the students that we wanted to reach oftentimes had difficulty getting internet access. So it wasn't as easy as just providing content or providing courses. We had to think about who we could partner with on the ground and what organizations and community groups can we work with that would be able to give the students the internet access that they would need so that they can attend these events and they can participate in all of these initiatives. So we could go forward. Could you go forward one slide? So we did an event with one of the blockchain clubs that was part of the Ben network. It's called NUS Blockchain Hub. So really great blockchain club. And we hosted an event about intro to stablecoins. Celo was the sponsor for that event. We taught the students how to set up their Celo wallet, how to do the stablecoins, what stablecoins even are, and how it could impact not only their school and their community, but also the entire region. And it was really interesting to see because for a lot of people, they didn't know, they didn't know what stablecoins are. They didn't know what DEXs are. So when we encountered that, we realized that some of our initiatives that we're currently doing elsewhere might have been too advanced. So, in other places, we've been able to do meta delegates. We've been able to get student clubs to set up, to run nodes, to do governance for different DeFi protocols, to develop and to launch and deploy dApps. But what we realize is that in some regions, we kind of have to start farther back. We have to teach students what DEXs are. What is a DEX? What is a dApp? What is a stablecoin? So, having partners like Celo has definitely been very helpful in being able to provide some of that initial education, especially since Celo has been leading it from an infrastructure perspective, right? Like one of the first stablecoins, one of the first mobile-focused applications or mobile-focused blockchains really sets Celo apart. And I think that's why the community really resonates with it. That's also why our students really resonate with it. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. It's very easy. We can go to the next slide. So as an example of another event that we did more recently, so we did an event with the West Africa Decentralized Alliance. And so this event, we were able to get good cameras. We paid for the internet access. We paid for PPE, so like masks and all the stuff that students would need to kind of like keep it sanitized and keep it safe and make it a safe event to attend. And the students were able to learn about blockchain. They were able to learn a bit about all of these concepts that we mentioned, right? Stable coins, DEXs, dApps, what are these things? Our hope is to be able to train the students to the point where they can become blockchain users. And then from that group, we want everyone to be able to use a blockchain. We want everyone to be able to use a wallet, everyone to be able to understand what private keys are. But then from that group, the students that are interested in pursuing blockchain as a career or blockchain, from a development perspective, those are the students that we want to work more closely with. You could go to the next slide. An example of like some more photos. So we had students come and present. One of the big things that we really try to prioritize is students teaching other students. So we talked a bit during this event, but it was mostly bringing in the students that did know about blockchain and didn't know about DEXs, and they learn about this stuff online. We gave them the opportunity to teach their fellow students about these concepts. So that's very important for both the teacher and the student, right? Because for the student that's doing the teaching, we believe that one of the best ways to learn is to teach to someone else. Because if we assess students based off of like multiple choice quizzes, you could just answer A, B, B, whatever until you get it. But if we have students teaching it to someone else, you can't really fake that, right? So then it becomes a real test. And so, that's something that we try to implement everywhere. And then for the teacher, it also works really great because, a lot of these students, when they come to us, they want to know how they can stand out in the communities. So, the way that we really want to expand this program is through Ben Learn. So Ben Learn is an initiative that we've been running where we have courses online that students can come and take. We have rewards that students can earn. The students that complete the most courses earn Ben Coin, which is a non-financial token that we have. It's a governance token for Ben, but also we do this thing where we get Airbnbs at blockchain conferences, and the students that complete the most lessons and earn the most get to travel to those conferences. So they get a free Airbnb, they can get a free flight, they can get the conference tickets paid for, even visas. So back in 2018, right after ETH India, we actually flew 5 students from Ben India to the US for the MIT Bitcoin Expo. Paid for their Airbnb, paid a portion of their flights, and we paid for their visas. Right? We got them their visa applications, and we had them. We paid for the visas. So those were the students that completed the most lessons for Ben, and those are the students that volunteered the most. They even translated content, and then that's a big part of it. So what we're doing here, and this is something that we're doing now with Celo, so we're really excited about this. Instead of just doing event after event after event, events are great and events are important, but we want to scale it up. So we'll be creating a Celo course, and with that Celo course, the students will have the opportunity to teach that course. The students will have the opportunity to translate that course into the different languages: Turkish, Italian, Spanish, all the different languages that are represented in Ben. We actually have a professor that just joined us in Georgia. And so she just translated our Intro to Blockchain course into Georgian. And so, the Celo course can be another one that they translate. And then we teach the course, right? We run the course. We have the platform that's able to run the course. The students that take the course will be able to earn rewards. And with those rewards, they'll be able to redeem those rewards for this Airbnbs and flights. It's one thing to give them, token rewards, which some of the lessons will be like incentivized with tokens. But we think a lot about intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation theory when it comes to like education. And we really believe that by rewarding students with flights and Airbnbs, you take that money a lot farther, because you can say, oh, instead of just $20, you can give someone $20, that's $20, they'll go and they'll cash out. Or you can give them a spot at an Airbnb during a conference. Next week at the Masari Mainnet conference, we'll actually have an Airbnb for 10 students that are coming in. So they'll be able to stay at the Airbnb, they'll be able to attend the conference. The key with that is that by giving them a reward like that, they get to come to the conference, they get to network, they get to meet the other students that are there, and they get to leverage that into job opportunities. And because of the fact that they had to prepare beforehand by completing these courses and by doing these online workshops and doing these online events, they'll be more prepared to actually do the networking. One of the feedback that we've gotten and we've seen is when we partner with hackathons or we partner with conferences, a lot of students that come, they feel underprepared. They say, oh, I wish I did a Solidity course beforehand, or I wish I did this beforehand. So we're kind of coming in and helping fix that problem. If Celo is present at a conference or if Celo has a hackathon, we can actually help students prepare beforehand with the content and the knowledge. And then we bring them to the conference. And then when they're at the actual conference and they get integrated to the rest of the Celo community, they'll be more prepared and they'll be more ready. So we're really all about like job preparedness, will all about readiness for students, and at the core of it, again, is students teaching other students. So we really want to take students from zero, nothing, like I don't even know what blockchain is, take them all the way to seeing blockchain as a potential career. We've for a long time, we've had students that kind of join and they see blockchain as like a hobby, which is fine if blockchain's a hobby for people. But I think, what we've all seen, everyone that's listening to this right now, we've all seen the potential of blockchain to really change lives. And we've seen the potential of blockchain to really be a career. You can do blockchain full time. And it doesn't mean you need to have a full-time job. You can work for DAOs, you can do bounties, you can participate in hackathons. Like there are some serial hackathoners that go from hackathon to hackathon, just like creating useful projects and collecting bounties, right? So we really want to push those ideas, especially in countries like Africa, countries like India, countries like regions like Latin America, regions like Africa, right? Because this whole trend of remote work is something that blockchain is spearheading, and that's something that we really want to be a part of and really want to help do. So if you guys want to join us in what we're doing, learn.blockchainedu.org is the website. We've had the platform has been live for about 3 months, and in those 3 months we've had 960 signups, 570 of which have been referred by our ambassadors. So those are like referrals in just the 3 months that we've been running. So that'll be very exciting. That's where all of our courses are. That's where the Celo course will be. That's where all of our events are listed. That's where we have all the groups for the different regions, Ben India, Ben Africa, Ben Latin America. And we're just really excited to continue this relationship and just see how the space evolves and changes. And we'll hope to meet some of you guys in person at any conferences that Celo's at, and we'll be bringing the students with us. So if you see students walking around in Ben shirts, know that like we brought them there, so you can go and say hi to them because they came specifically to talk to you guys.
Great, thank you so much for the awesome program. For everything you're doing there. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And I'd like to invite Minghan to share about what is happening in APAC with the ambassador program. Welcome, Minghan.
Hi, thank you, Adriana. Can everyone hear me? Okay, cool. Thanks everyone, and my name is Mengfan. I'm leading the Marcom at Celo, and I joined Celo Foundation in July. So then we launched this ambassador program firstly in China. The reason is like at that time we don't have a lot of resources to support the APAC PR and community management, and we also want to improve our community engagement. So I'm thinking that why not then we find someone who is passionate to Celo and then from the community. That's why then we initiate this program. And thanks so much, Sonia, Anna, Sochi, and for your great support to this program. So the process for this ambassador program, there are like 5 main steps. And the first then it is to define the ambassador needs. So based on the local needs and for China, and then we need like journalists who write the articles, designers who produce videos, community manager to manage the community, and then some social media, for example, to translate our social posts and then into local languages. And then I start to recruit ambassadors. There are some tips that I would like to share with the Ecolist that you can find ambassadors who are like very active in the community discussions or who ask the solid questions from the AMAs. And then I talk to them and then make an offer. And some of them, like they refer the other volunteers to join us. And then next one, it is to apply for the ambassador program grant. So we fill in the form and then define the roles and responsibilities, and then salaries and bonus rewards, and then submit to Celo Foundation. And Anna and Sochi then they approve this program. And the next one is to get the legal approval. And thanks so much like Burnley's team to support us. And the last step is to onboard and train the ambassadors, and then to support and also like to provide them some support to their task completion. Next slide, please. Thank you. And there are 4 ambassadors like in China that we just recruited, and then they started in August, and then they already did amazing jobs. For example, then community management, Junjie, that he managed like Telegram for a little bit over 1 month and already grew to a 655 Telegram group. And he also created Weibo, which is parallel to Twitter, and then already earned like 200 fans like within 1 month, which is amazing. And then for social media steward, we have Xiaoxing, and then he translated our Celo LinkedIn and Twitter post into local languages and then share with the community directly. And most of like his posts and then are very welcome and draw a lot of discussions in the community. And then we have journalist Michael, and Michael actually then he already like Celo fans before then we started this program. He created a WeChat account himself and then published articles like almost like 3 to 4 times a week. And his WeChat account already earned like about 1,500 fans subscribers, and he wrote a lot of like more than 200 articles since he created this account. And then the last one is our video designer that he created like 8 videos, educational videos about Celo and several like GIFs, which are very popular in our community. Next slide, please. Cool. So here are some like highlights that our ambassador provided based on their observation on the China or local community. So we can see that since August 1st, and then the Telegram group size and increased dramatically, especially around when we launched the DeFi for the People program. And then especially since August 30, that the Telegram group has grown rapidly triple the size and increased by 450 users. Next slide, please. Great. And this one, it is the community discussion about our DeFi for the People, and there are 9,000 discussions and have been generated since DeFi for the People launched, and the topics are regarding where to buy Celo CUSD, and then how to set up Celo network on wallet, and then the DeFi for the People projects such as PoolTogether, Moolah, Ubi, and then they're all very welcomed and draw a lot of discussions in our community. Next slide, please. Cool. And then I mentioned that earlier that we have like a Weibo account, which is parallel Twitter in China. And then so we already posted like 70 of them. And then again, like so many followers and more than about like 200 likes. And especially then we draw a lot of attention from the local crypto influencer. And then they start to follow us and also share the Celo information to their fans. And there are 99 about like 100 post translations and created by our ambassador Xiaoxing. Next slide, please. And for the WeChat account, which is parallel to Medium blog post, that we achieved like 1,500 followers. And then since August, and then Michael already published and translated 27 articles. And since DeFi for the People, then we've seen a 30% growth in the followers. And some interesting information that 80% of our subscribers to this WeChat account are male, and 57% are between 26 and 35 years old. It's kind of like young professionals, and so that's what we want to target. Like next slide, please. Cool. And the last one I want to share is our the videos created by our ambassador Mar. Then he's amazing and to create all of those GIFs, and then Ubeswap tutorial, Celo introduction, DeFi for the people, and Mola, Ubeswap, and PoolTogether, and those projects introduction. And I would like to take like just maybe 1 minute and to play the first video, DeFi for the people APAC intro.
Hey, Mengfan, just because we're running short on time, we'll share the link in the chat, and then folks can see it there on their own. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sure. And then that's it for the ambassador program. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. That's such great work. So if you have any questions, I saw there was a question about joining the Telegram discussion in China. Please go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. So thank you, Mengfan. So to wrap up the community section, I just want to let folks know that we do have a governance call coming up on the 23rd on Wednesday. So I'll share the link in the chat, and please join us there. We're going to be discussing the Celo ecosystem treasury. And so next, I'm excited to bring to the stage Erin to share an update on optics. So please join the stage, Erin.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Erin, welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulty, but I'm excited to be here. And thank you, Renee, for that amazing intro on optics. So we are excited to announce that optics is here. We launched on mainnet about a week ago with bridges connecting Ethereum, Celo, and Polygon. Next slide, please. So there are a couple of problems that we saw within the cross-chain space. One of them was that existing bridge designs are costly. Also, each bridge was a completely bespoke solution. They were a one-to-one solution, meaning that we bridged one chain to one other chain. This is time-consuming and costly, and it is just not sustainable as we are seeing the rapid development of new chains, which causes further fragmentation and more need for bridges. So next slide, please. So let's talk about optics and how it solves that problem. So optics is an interoperability standard for building cross-chain communication channels. That's a mouthful, so I'm going to break that down a bit. So you can think of optics as this foundation of cross-chain communication channels. And on top of that, we can build cross-chain applications that use those channels. And we call these cross-chain applications ZApps. Our cross-chain application that is in use right now is the token bridge, which is what we used to bridge Celo, Ethereum, and Polygon. But you could technically come up with many different cross-chain applications, and we're very excited to see what other ideas people will come up with. Optics is a solution for any layer 1 blockchain. It is gas efficient, trustless, and one-to-many. Next slide, please. So here's a diagram of that one-to-many relationship that I was talking about. You can see how each chain is connected to every other chain in the system through these communication channels. It is important to note that we could add a fourth chain or even a fifth or sixth chain, and each chain that we add benefits from that infrastructure that is already existing between the initial chains. So it is very easy to add a new chain, and it's also this design is about 90% cheaper than other bridging solutions. So it is just a very simple and very powerful design, and yeah, it's very exciting. Next slide, please. So Optics is a huge step forward in the interoperability space, and having this like truly interconnected ecosystem of blockchains is going to bring some really exciting things to the table. One of those things is a DeFi for the people. We are bringing these DeFi tools that are on Ethereum, and we are going to be able to bring them to the mobile users on Celo, which is really incredible. And we're going to continue to see other things made possible through Optics and these bridges. So a quick disclaimer, Optics is still an experimental technology. As we mentioned earlier, it's only been on mainnet for a week. So so go ahead and check out the code, and you can test out and explore. And our team is going to be focused on monitoring the system over the next several weeks and making sure that it is just really functioning well and stable, and that it's a really quality system that you will be able to use. So what's next for Optics? As I mentioned, we will be doing heavy monitoring and just making sure that this is really ready to get into your hands. We will be building out additional tools, adding documentations, and we will have a GUI coming out very soon so that you can interact with this bridge. So that is Optics, and thank you so much for your time, and I will pass it back to you.
That's great. Thank you, Erin. This is all really exciting. So thanks for the share. If you have questions, please give them to Erin in the question section of the chat. And I would like to invite now Sochi up to the stage to share an update on DeFi for the people.
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Well
awesome. So my name is Sochi Cazador, and I support the ecosystem growth efforts at the Celo Foundation. I'm here to talk to you about DeFi for the people. If we go to the next slide. So the purpose of DeFi for the people is to make DeFi more accessible to everyone. And if we think about DeFi, it's an important financial building block and really achieving our mission of prosperity for all. We skip to the next slide. And just kind of further, expanding on, why this is important. There are many barriers to entry for DeFi today. The gas fees can be quite cost prohibitive. It can be a very complex user experience. It's hard to understand and navigate. And really, it's not accessible for everyone today. DeFi has been primarily focused on more developed markets. And this is a huge opportunity as we think about how we can enable the DeFi and the use cases of DeFi to everyone with a mobile phone. This program consists of 4 different areas. And if we go to the next slide, Adriana. I've walked through each of them. So really the first one is the Celo Foundation has committed $100 million worth of Celo to projects that are committed to making DeFi more accessible. The second area really is all around kind of how do we nurture this development of mobile first applications. There's a hackathon that we announced it's launching in October that is $1 million worth of cash prizes and seed funding for projects that are really making DeFi more accessible to everyone with the mobile phone. The third area I think is a really important piece as well, and this is really about research that's focused on real world usage. And we saw through some of the efforts over the past year, really how access to under-collateralized lending can make a really huge impact on people's lives. We saw with Jorge in Colombia, as well as some of the pilots that have been done in Kenya. And this is just the beginning. Will and team are really beginning to kind of look at, how do we begin to test out further use cases? The last area, and certainly not the least, is really focused on local activation. And this is really about you, the Celo community. Daniel and Anna have been doing really a tremendous job in launching a microgrant program and ambassador network that will help bring more education initiatives and awareness campaigns to local communities around the world. We skip to the next slide. One of the really beautiful aspects of this project is that it's an initiative that is led by really a group of projects across the space that are, again, committed to making DeFi more accessible. Projects like PoolTogether, Sushi, Ube, and Mula. And I think the important thing to note here as well is that this is really an open and fair launch. We want to have multiple projects participate in this program. And I'll talk in a little bit about how you can get more involved. Next slide, please. Some of the early results that I'd like to share with you just in the last few weeks since we've launched the program is that our transaction volume has grown by 40%. We've seen the number of wallets on the Celo network grow to 1.2 million. The number of projects that are on Celo grow to 334, and TVL has grown by 2x and is now just over 700 million. And this is still very much the early days. We know that in order to achieve this mission of making DeFi more accessible, there's really much to do. And so with that, I'd like to invite, if you go to the next slide, those of you that have ideas and how to kind of join this movement and really expand it to really reach out. And so if you have any ideas that you'd like to share, please reach out to partner@celo.org. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sochi, for sharing. Wonderful. So we are now going to move on to projects that are recently launched in Celo. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Leighton to share about PoolTogether.
Thank you. Yeah, so PoolTogether, you can go to the next slide, is a bringing prize savings to the Celo network. And so if you're aware, heard of prize savings before, it's a pretty simple concept. You can actually keep going to another slide, the next one. It's basically a savings account where instead of earning like a really low interest rate, you have a chance to win prizes. And the more money you save, the higher of a chance for prizes that you have. And so this is an idea that's not new. It's been done in the UK. It's super popular. Actually, there's a really successful program in South Africa. It's done a lot in South America. There's different names for it, but it is it's new to the blockchain. And so it's a really important kind of consumer financial primitive to help people save money. And it's now available on Celo. So if you want to go to the next slide, I guess I kind of, this is what's been happening so far with Celo. So it's been live for 16 or 17 days, I think. And so there's two savings prize pools. The first one is using CUSD. The second one's using CEuro. And you can see how many unique depositors are in each one. And right now, I think there's a total of 1.7 million, or I actually think I might need to update that stat. I think it's more like 2 million now that's been deposited. And so far, the luckiest saver deposited, I think, 50 euros and won a couple hundred. So that's really cool. So the goal for the protocol is to have over 4,000 unique users and 6 million deposits in the first 90 days. So we're 14 days in. And so that's sort of our baseline goal. And so, still have a lot of growth to do. But I think with coming of things like optics, it's going to be a lot faster growth in the future and with better improved wallet integrations. And then our stretch goal is to have 10,000 unique users by the end of 90 days, so about 75 days from now. So my last slide here is just if you're interested in giving things a try, how to get started. Two resources for you. One is oh no, what? Sorry, I meant to post a link. So I'll post these links in the chat. There's a YouTube educator named DeFi Donut who did a really good video on how to use PoolTogether and Celo. I'm just grabbing the link for you guys, and I'll post it. That's also been translated into Portuguese. If anyone wants it in a different language, I can share that link too. And then if you're feeling up for it, you can also just go directly to the PoolTogether website using this link here. So that's what PoolTogether is, and that's how it's doing so far in Celo. And yeah, just super excited to keep growing on the Celo network.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leighton, for sharing. This is great. Awesome. So next we have Evan giving an update with Ubeswap. Welcome, Evan.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Wonderful. So you could go to the next slide. So hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here and share the spotlight with so many other great projects. It's also wonderful to see all the familiar faces. So many of you may know me from C Labs, where I was working for the past 2 years leading ecosystem growth in Asia. And now I'm thrilled to join Ubeswap to help lead the growth and impact of the platform, and I have some exciting updates to share with you today. If you could go to the next slide. So Ubeswap is a mobile-first decentralized exchange powering DeFi on Celo. And DeFi on Celo is all about financial inclusion, making it easier for people who have traditionally been left behind or excluded from the modern financial system to save, earn, lend, and create prosperity. And so the first initiative Ubeswap launched right out of the gate is a strong collaboration with DeFi for the People to increase liquidity and yield farming rewards on some key pools on Ubeswap, such as Celo MCUSD and Celo MC Euro. If you could go to the next slide. We've seen great early success and strong growth in the total value locked on the platform since the launch of DeFi for the People, surpassing 50 million TVL recently. So if you're not already taking advantage of the great rewards and high annual percentage rates of the pools, head over to ubeswap.org and connect your Celo compatible wallet to get started. So as you can see here, Ubeswap has also shared a public roadmap now, and that should give the community more clarity on the direction of the platform, that the platform is heading, and how you can become more involved in shaping the platform. So step one is growing the team and launching the Community Partners Program, which I'll discuss in more detail. Step two is increasing the functionality of Ubeswap and launching Ubeswap v2. Step three is increasing the new token pipeline by supporting and incubating all Celo projects and taking full advantage of the new optics bridge. Step four is to expand access to the platform and what we're calling liquidity initiatives by increasing on-off ramps and wallet support and incentivizing more front ends. Step five is to transition Ubeswap to a DAO so the platform is fully run by the community. And I would say this roadmap is less of a sequencing and more of an everything going on all at once kind of roadmap, as we're already making great progress on all these initiatives with the growing and engaged Ubeswap community. But I'll focus on roadmap step number one in the next slide. If you could go to the next slide. Great, thank you. So we have myself as the new business lead and Brian as the new technology lead. Brian was involved in building Ubeswap and won the Celo Community Builder Award last month. So you can get in touch with us and join the Ubeswap community on Telegram and Discord. And next slide. Last but not least, our first initiative to foster the community and further decentralize the platform is the Ubeswap Community Partners Program, where we're allocating up to 2 million Ube tokens to DeFi projects and developers on Celo and Ethereum who wish to meaningfully grow Ubeswap TVL and liquidity. Apply now and stay tuned for more updates soon. I'll share the application link in the chat shortly. And that's it from Ubeswap. We hope to see all of you farming and building on the platform to connect the liquidity and opportunity of DeFi with the 6 billion smartphone users around the world. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Evan. Great update. And so now I want to bring Darren to the stage to share an update from Symmetric. Welcome, Darren.
Oh, hi. Thank you. Just, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. Hopefully you can see this. Okay,
yes.
Let me, 1 second. Okay, I'm speaking to you on behalf of Sept Finance. Now, I could be talking to you about several products, but today I'm going to be talking about Symmetric. So Symmetric is a decentralized exchange and automated market maker by Sept Finance. We're based in London. Symmetric update. So Symmetric is now fully live on Celo with support for Wallet Connect, the Celo extension wallet, MetaMask, and we're just adding support for Valora. Rewards are accruing for liquidity providers, so now's a good opportunity to get in early and start to earn some good rewards. We just rolled out a new mobile-friendly user interface. We're listed on DeFi Llama, and we're proud partners of DeFi for the people. So the benefits of Symmetric include good fee and reward schemes to liquidity providers. We've got an active bounty program. We've already made a number of payouts for bounties. There's lots of opportunities to partner on different projects, and of course, coin launches. We have a diverse set of token pools we can support, such as liquidity bootstrapping, ETFs, Sharia compliant funds, which is an interesting new area we're looking into. We're getting compliance for that and certification, and index funds, of course. Our near-term roadmap includes Valora integration as a priority, a new analytics dashboard for liquidity providers, optics integration, so we can launch some new SIM token pools, higher incentives for liquidity providers, and better integration with the Sept multi-chain DeFi wallet and other wallets. Now, what I want to do briefly is to give a very quick demonstration to those who haven't yet seen Symmetric. So there's two sides to Symmetric. The first part is the pools management portal. So here it's very simple to create a pool. Just click on create pool. I'm just going to show how to add liquidity to a current pool. So just click on add liquidity. Here you can see your liquidity, volumes, fees. Just click on add liquidity. I'll add a single asset. So in this case, the Celo Euro. Click add liquidity. It's really very simple to add liquidity. And as soon as this has gone through, I'm earning some rewards from that pool. So that's gone through. The other side, of course, is doing the exchange. So here would be quite familiar for anyone who's used these sort of DEX projects. Choose the coin that you want to swap from, and two, in this case, I'll just swap one Celo Euro. There's a routing engine here which finds the optimal return, so I get the best deal from across all the different pools. Click swap to make the swap, wait for that to go through, and I should get my notification pop up once it's confirmed on the chain. So it's a very simple process. We are hiring developers and people in marketing. If you're interested, jump into Discord, follow us on Twitter, and just reach out to any of the team. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren. Thanks for the demo. And next we'll have ChurroFi. So I want to invite Manan to the stage.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just a second. I can't seem to turn on my camera. Yeah, hi. Super
Hello.
happy presenting and talking about ChurroFi today. It's great to see all the projects and like the flourishing community. And like, I'm really happy to see the projects that came out of Celo India Fellowship, because that's something that's like really close to me. So coming to ChurroFi now, we all know that like staking is like a foundational thing that a proof of stake network has. But like the process of staking is inherently a little complex because it's difficult to figure out how to lock your Celo or which group to vote on. Because like if somebody is not into the thick of the network, it's like a bit intimidating. So with ChurroFi, what we have tried to do is simplify the process as much as possible by like just creating awesome UX and like a beautiful interface. One thing we didn't want to do was make the decision for the users. So the users still get their complete freedom of which group they want to vote on and like activating their votes and all of that stuff, but like through a super simple UX. So let me just share my screen right now. Yeah, so basically you can see on our landing page, we have this calculator where you can tinker around and see how your rewards would be like in a year. If you're staking 100 Celo, the APY is 5.05, so you would earn like 5.05 Celo. And then taking you over to the dashboard, we have like a complete breakdown of how your Celo has been, like where all it is, like your total Celo, invested Celo, and if you had any amount that was waiting for activation. And then you can switch over to advanced view and see like a complete proper breakdown as well, like voting Celo, how much is locked Celo and the unlocked Celo. And below that, we have this beautiful graph where you can see your cumulative rewards on your invested Celo. So like in the past week, I've earned 0.08 Celo just from staking. And I can see like my 30-day reward graph as well. So I've earned like 0.3 Celo in the past 30 days and my activated votes right now. Another really cool thing that we have is like a beautiful validator group explorer. And apart from the metrics from the chain, we have like a lot of really important scores that we calculate for every validator group and show it to you. So this is the overall score, which is on basis of what we like order all of the validator groups to figure out which ones are the best one right now. So like the overall score is a combination of transparency score and performance score. Again, performance score is like an algorithm, and we crunch these numbers every 10 minutes on like a cron job to figure out what is the performance score of each validator group and like basically figure out for you which ones you should be voting on right now. And as you can see, we have like an easy button you can like that'll take you straight to the investment flow where you can decide how much Celo you want to invest. So if I say I want to invest 50 Celo right now, basically stake 50 Celo. So it'll prompt me on my ledger to lock my Celo. So yep, just a second. So yeah, because the transactions are really fast, I can like show you the complete process in a second. Yeah, so once my Celo has been locked, now I can use that 50 Celo to vote on a validator group. And it is by default chosen chain layer for me because I clicked on stake on chain layer. So it directly took me to chain layer. I can confirm and continue. Again, it'll prompt me to just to like sign a transaction to vote. And once that happens, you can see the last part as well. I'm like really happy about it, that it tells you how long do you need to come back in to activate your vote. And then you can also add an email reminder, and it will like shoot you an email when you're supposed to activate your Celo, and you can come over here and I'll show you a neat pop-up here at the bottom right to activate your Celo basically. So now you can see my voting status is pending. I have 50 pending votes, 200 activated Celo. So that's pretty much it. We have everything that you would need. Like you can unvote and unlock in one click. You can withdraw your Celo, see when do you want to withdraw, lock, unlock, vote, and like a validator group explorer inside the dashboard as well. So that's pretty much it. That's ChurroFi for you. I really think this is like the best experience to stake on Celo right now. So definitely check it out at ChurroFi.app. And feel free to join our Discord server if you have any questions, or reach out to me on Twitter. I'll just drop my Twitter handle in the chat. Yeah, that's it from me.
Awesome. Thank you, Manan. This is great. And up next, we have Dylan with Mobius.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'll share my screen really quick.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, so hi, my name's Dylan. I'm one of the developers working on Mobius, and Mobius is a cross-chain stable swap exchange being built on Celo. So in this, we particularly specialize in low slippage swaps between similarly pegged tokens. Mobius launched very recently, and we had some impressive week one stats. Within the first week, our USDC pool was over $250,000 total value locked and saw over $500,000 worth of volume. This was USDC bridged over with the help of the Moss team, so I'd like to extend my thanks to them. And these numbers are also without any incentives, and that makes me very excited to look to the very near future as we announce our yield farming program. Starting tomorrow, liquidity providers on Mobius will be able to stake their LP tokens to earn Mobi across the USDC, Ethereum, and Bitcoin pools. We will also be working with Ubeswap to incentivize the Celo Mobi pool, where there people can stake their LP tokens to earn more Mobi. Finally, we are working with the DeFi for the People program to get additional incentives for Mobius LP providers in the form of Celo. Next up, we have bridges. Obviously, as covered, Optics just launched, which is extremely exciting. But we at Mobius realized that Optics won't be the only bridge coming to Celo. And so we've been building out an abstract bridge interface to integrate with every single bridge coming into Celo. This will be releasing tomorrow, with Optics being our first integration. And soon after that, we will be integrating with a bridge between Solana and Celo, where we are working with the Altbridge team, who has been responsible for bridging millions of dollars of assets between Solana and Ethereum. And we can't wait to see just the multitude of liquidity they bring onto the Celo ecosystem and to Mobius. Finally, we're happy to say that our team is growing. Mobius started as a collaboration project between the OpenCelo and Dahlia team, and we now have a strategic advisor as Alex Witt, the CFO of C Labs. So we are extremely excited and look forward to the future as Alex can provide his expertise and help us grow Mobius to be the place for stable swaps on Celo.
Exciting. Thank you so much, Dylan. Congrats on the launch. And that's perfect because we have up next an update from Dahlia Finance. So if you have any questions for Dylan, please bring them in the chat, post them there. And I'd like to invite Kyle Scott up to the stage.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Cool. I'll share my screen real quick. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm here to talk a little bit more about Dahlia. So Dahlia is a leveraged yield farming protocol in Celo, and what we're really looking to do is to bring the best yield rates to Celo. So it really has two parts. There's an earn portion where you're able to lend out your assets and earn an interest rate, much like how Moolah works. But the thing that makes Dahlia different is you're able to borrow these funds and leverage into different liquidity farming positions. Like, for example, right now it's currently integrated with Ubeswap. So you're able to borrow assets and provide liquidity at up to 5 times leverage. And this allows you to earn higher returns that are offered by Ubeswap farming. We're looking to integrate with as well as Symmetric and then any other yield farming opportunities that are available on Celo, like Sushi and Curve. So yeah, we're super excited to launch pretty soon. I think we're aiming for next week. Right now we're doing a private beta launch on mainnet. And yeah, we're just super excited to be able to bring these yield farming opportunities to the users on Celo. I think it really is going to do a nice job of both providing like a stable, not stable, but a nice interest rate for people, the risk averse users who just want to lend out their assets, as well as an opportunity for the more traders to try and seek higher returns. So thank you very much for letting me present. That's all I have today.
Great. Thank you for that. Awesome. So up next, I'd like to hand it over to Alex to share about SteakWallet.
Perfect. Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Hey everyone, super happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. Just want to share a quick word about SteakWallet. So SteakWallet, we're building SteakWallet to be the simplest non-custodial multi-chain cryptocurrency wallet. A few months ago, we started, like a small team of myself started building this, and it just so happens that staking your assets on proof of stake blockchains is like one of the safest and most passive yield opportunities. So the SteakWallet name kind of just emerged naturally. SteakWallet is your classic cryptocurrency wallet. You're in full control of your keys, the private keys on your phone. We're not an interface to some centralized exchange. We're multi-chain from the very beginning, so we shipped with support a few months ago for Celo, Ethereum, and Cosmos. And we aim to have the easiest staking flow possible. So where we can automate steps, where we can automate the process, we'll do so. So the SteakWallet has been an open alpha for the past few months. I recorded a video this morning that's on the right. You can see the current state of the app. And in this video, I custody some Celo, Moolah Market, and Ubeswap tokens. And then I stake my Celo tokens to earn a passive 6% yield. So from as I said, we launched with support for 3 blockchains. Since then, we've added 4 more. and we've added support for thousands of tokens. Yeah, when it comes to like streamlining the staking flow, we basically do as much as we can to make it one click rather than potentially 5+, right? For example, if you're familiar with the internals of the Celo staking protocol, you know that you need to activate votes 24 hours later. With SteakWallet, we do that for you. So you just basically sit and forget. Times where we can't actually do that for you, maybe you want to claim rewards or rebalance your portfolio, we will send you a push notification, basically with instructions on what to do. So looking ahead, we are going to start development on our beta in the next couple of weeks. This is going to bring SteakWallet to the Omni chain. So we're going to add support for all your favorite blockchains. We'll be adding more yield sources, it's branching out from staking a little bit, so you can deposit into yield aggregators. You can add liquidity to pools. We'll be adding Wallet Connect support, so you're not just limited to the SteakWallet, but you can use all your favorite dApps. We'll be adding a fiat on-ramp, so you can buy crypto right in SteakWallet. Hopefully you never have to use a centralized exchange ever again. We'll be adding a swap component, so let's say you have Ethereum and you see a great yield on Celo. You can simply swap in-app from Ethereum to Celo and then enter that farm or pool. When we're doing swaps on a single chain, we can do a little bit of DEX aggregation to get you the best rate. So if I want to go from Celo to CUSD, can simply look at the Ubeswap pool, the SushiSwap pool, and give our users the best rate. Finally, we'll be doing an NFT integration. So you can customize your SteakWallet and manage all your favorite NFTs from within the app. So it's live right now on iOS and Android. Encourage you to check it out. And follow us on Twitter, hop into our Discord, and we can, just a chat, or I guess more importantly, for some feedback would be awesome. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you for that update, Alex. This is great. Please ask Alex any questions in the chat. And next up, I want to invite Danny to the stage to share about Bdl.ai.
Hey guys. Okay, I'm gonna assume you can hear me. So for those of you who are feeling sleepy, I just did 20 burpees and now I feel really energized. So I encourage all of you guys to do that. But don't do that right away. I'd like you to take a moment to look at the 3 links I put in there. So the first one is web3studio.bdl.ai.com. If you go there, that's a new a program that we're announcing. And if you go to the next slide, please. If you go to the next slide, please. There you go. Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot that slide was there. I'll just introduce myself very quickly. So Bdl.ai is a dev shop and a design studio. And we've been very fortunate to be part of the Celo ecosystem from the start. You can think of us as a school. We recruit people, we train them, and then we assemble teams, and then we build software for startups as well as for a large enterprise. And we take CUSD as a form of payment. So the idea behind Web3 Studio is to help founders quickly accelerate the launch of their products. And so we've put together, with the help of the Celo Foundation, and in the future, we'd love to invite new investors, but we've put together a fund, and that fund can be used for founders to build and accelerate their products really, really quickly using the Bdl.ai team. And we are open. We've just opened now the application. So the link number 2 and 3 that I have there, one is a post that I made on my personal LinkedIn, and the other one is a Twitter feed that I have. I probably have 17 followers on Twitter or whatever they're called. So if you can retweet them to your audience, any founders really who wants a team in a box that can come and build quickly for them, that's the place to apply. If you've ever applied to Y Combinator, we've shamelessly stolen their application form, but it doesn't go to Y Combinator, it goes to us. We'll review them and we'll select over the next 4 months, 20 or so applicants. So yeah, I hope you are as excited as I am about the start of this. Looks to be a very exciting journey in the coming months. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. This is great. And yeah, get in your burpees. Exercise is important. So for our final update today, I want to invite Andre to the stage to share about Unicorn Tokenization Corp. Hey, Andre, welcome.
Hey everyone, my name is Andrzej Zamowski. I'm the founder of MBSafe, and I've been involved as an advisor in like 50 to 100 other blockchain companies. Next slide, please. Okay, so the problem that we are trying to solve here is that there are a lot of other really interesting investments outside of the blockchain, a lot of companies that you may want to invest to, such as Reddit, Discord, let's say SpaceX, and some others. But even if you're lucky enough to find a broker who would agree to sell you some equity in those companies, and for that you have to be in the US, you have to know the right people and so on. Even if you're lucky enough to find the seller, the investment minimum there would be around $25,000 or more. The minimum amount of money you'll have to bring to get some equity there. And this is caused by inefficiencies of paper-based transactions. They have to hire a lawyer to write a custom contract for you. They have to like process money manually, send a lot of emails back and forth, and so on. And this is a perfect use case for blockchain-based automation because blockchain automates processes that were on paper before. So with the blockchain, this the cost of such transaction can be brought down from $2,000 plus to $1, and the speed can be brought down from weeks to minutes. Next slide, please. So I'm going to do a little demo. So this is what we actually did. We launched a number of products that involves legal and blockchain structures, as a result of which investments in private pre-IPO companies are now available to anyone in the blockchain world via multiple blockchain platforms. So all these companies such as Kraken, Envision, and we've even tokenized SpaceX and Robinhood are now available for blockchain users, for Celo users, including worldwide, through a number of platforms, Order Book, Raise, and others. And this is all powered by ERC2, extended ERC20 standard with Ubeswap exchange on the backend. So this is a custom frontend for Ubeswap exchange with CUSD as a settlement currency, and a number of other innovations. The full list of companies that we've tokenized can be found at utc.fund, and we are planning to expand it. And next slide, please. Is there a slide? I'm sorry.
Just refreshing them, 1 second.
Okay, anyway, I'll just keep talking. So we are looking for, so this is all live today. Now you can invest in like SpaceX and similar companies for with a minimum of $30. And we are looking for liquidity providers for Ubeswap who are interested in trading securities and equity of actual companies and not just tokens. We are looking for platforms who are interested in listing shares of companies in form of tokens. It takes a little bit of KYC and regulation work. And we are looking for on-ramps to provide easy payment methods for like various countries worldwide that can convert to CUSD. Please reach out to me at Andri@utc.fund if you're interested. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Andri. That's great. And I want to thank all of the presenters today and all of the projects. There's always so much happening every month, which is why we moved this to a monthly event. We also added in a survey to see what you want to see the next Kunecos. So as we close now, I would like to announce the winner. It was a very close call for this month's Celo Community Builder Awards. We can go to the next slide. We have Human. So congratulations congratulations for your 1,000 Celo. And we will be doing this award every month, so please stay tuned to Twitter the week before Kuneco to share your nominations. Be sure to tag the actual builder, individual, as well as the project. And with that, if you have any updates that you want to share at the next Kuneco, please let us know on Discord, and or connect with me directly. And please connect on our Discord channel at chat.celo.org, and we'll see you next time. So thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.